Thank you, Devin. And according to the CDC, RSV causes an estimated 60,000 to 160,000 hospitalizations annually among adults ages 65 years and older. And here to tell us science to watch out for and ways we can prevent RSV is Nurse Christina Paris. So thank you so much for coming in today.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
So, I mean, we're about to enter fall, so, you know, lots of things are about to come. You got flu, COVID levels going up, lots of it. But what is RSV?
RSV is respiratory syncytial virus. And so it really is kind of a repetitious cough. So syncytial is kind of where it comes from. So the symptoms that you're gonna see, of course, are gonna be a cough, and you'll get into these coughing spasms. You can also get a runny nose, decreased appetite, sneezing, fever, and even some wheezing, depending on how bad you get it. But it can just really make you feel crummy. The cough can keep you up at night, so it can be really a miserable thing. But typically will clear on its own in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. What's kind of the difference between like RSV, flu, COVID? Like what can help you differentiate?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think with RSV, it's going to be that cough. I mean, a really bad cough.
Like
kind
repetitive.
Of over, right. Yep, you're going to get into these coughing spells. With COVID and flu, they're so similar. You're going to have the fever and feel really crummy. I think with both the flu and COVID, they hit you hard and fast. If you have something coming on gradually over time, it's probably just allergies or something like that. But if you're fine one day and by the afternoon you feel awful, it's probably one of those more significant viral infections. So you want to talk to your provider, you want to be monitoring your temperature, that kind of stuff.
And then how is RSV, how can you either prevent it, or let's say you do get it, how can you then treat it?
So treating it is just going to be a matter of taking over-the-counter medications for the fever or for the cough. There really isn't any medication like there is for the COVID and flu. There's not an antiviral yet that's available. So it's going to be treating symptoms. And things you can do to prevent it are going to be, washing your hands, because you're going to get it from kissing, your little baby that maybe is sick with it, touching a doorknob that somebody who coughed in their hand, opened the door, blew their nose, opened the door, sink handles, things like that. So you want to be constantly, right now, you want to get out those bleach wipes, you want to be wiping down your doorknobs, you want to be using hand sanitizer and washing your hands when you're downtown. When you get back from downtown, you want to make sure you're wiping surfaces that you touch a lot. I usually will do like the refrigerator handle. I do all the light switch handles. I'll do my sink handles, things like that.
Like a lot of shared common surfaces that other people
I clean and then Lysol down stuff,
And then is there some sort of RSV vaccine? Is it this, and if there is it kind of similar to maybe a flu or COVID vaccine? So
yeah, there is the new RSV vaccine that they just came out with. There's actually two different kinds. One that Pfizer put out, and one that GSK put out. And both of these vaccines are recombinant protein vaccines. So they're not like the COVID one, which was the RNA.
Yeah.
So that one was a little different. That was totally new. This is more like the vaccines we're used to seeing, the ones that we see for the flu and the ones that we see for other things. So it just takes a part of the virus, but not the really bad part of it, and they put it in the vaccine so that you can see. What I read was that this one is going to feel very similar to the shingles vaccine. So they're recommending it for people over the age of 60. So if you're over 60, you've had the shingles vaccine, that's kind of how you're going to feel, kind of a little crummy the day after. You might have a sore spot on your arm where you got it. And that this one also has to have a order from your doctor. Okay. So you can't just walk in like the flu doesn't. You don't have to have an order for that. The COVID, you don't have to have an order. But for shingles, for RSV, your doctor has to prescribe it. So
it reminds me of someone I was talking to who got the shingles vaccine and said it's worth 1 or 2 days of a little pain, feeling crummy, versus however long case of RSV will last. And it's lingering side effects.
Absolutely. And because RSV used to be, typically we just saw it with babies and kids.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, now we're seeing more of these in adults. I think measles was another one that we're starting to see. So we've got to just be really careful. They're hitting the older crowd again now.
Absolutely, yeah. So definitely make sure you're washing your hands, sanitizing, because we are about to enter all types of sick seasons, and it's all going to go around soon.
Right.
So thank you so much for coming in and telling us a
Absolutely.
bit more about RSV. And coming up.